Hi guys, Craig here from Out There Touring. This video is just on preparation for Cape York trip. If you've been watching my socials over the last few weeks, you'll notice there's been lots of posts with Cape York preparations. So I just thought I'd put it out there of things that I've sort of tried to tick the boxes on, in case you want to sort of do a trip like this and try to prepare yourself. This will be the biggest trip that I've tried to do. The amount of planning I put into this, it's next level for me. I know a lot of people spend a lot of time doing this stuff. Most of my trips, at most, have been a week and a half, 2 weeks, and even then, I haven't put much planning into them. This trip's going to be 5 weeks, so I've spent the last 12 months, and particularly the last 3 or 4 months, really trying to fine tune and nut down on the finer detail for this trip. I put an itinerary up there for you guys. I'll try to copy it and get it into this video as well. Not everything on that itinerary will be ticked off, but it's a would like to, I suppose. Now, my experience isn't that great. I probably got back into camping 3 or 4 years ago now, and bit of four-wheel driving, not much, until I sort of got down to Victorian high country. So this is going to be a big challenge for me. A lot of the challenge for me, I suppose, was vehicle preparation. What I need, what I don't need, what I'm carrying that I'm not going to need, what I don't have that I will need. Like everyone, I suppose, that hasn't done a trip like this, it's the preparation that's going to either make or break the trip, or at least try to minimise on some of those risks, or hopefully even eliminate them. So lots of YouTube time, watching what other people have done, putting messages out on socials, to just try to get an understanding and some knowledge. And part of it, I suppose, is vehicle preparation, and upgrading my own personal skills. Lots of times out in the bush, just trying to get an understanding of my abilities. I guess a lot of the preparation or work that's done in the background is to try to get an understanding of my abilities and also the vehicle's abilities. How far I can push the vehicle before I feel uncomfortable. The vehicles will generally have a lot more to go in them, but you don't want to obviously push that. Also, part of it is understanding what I'm going to need in case of different situations, what I'm not going to need that I can remove. So there's been a few posts about the rooftop tent. At the moment it's still on. It's going to come off this afternoon or tomorrow. The reason for that is on this trip I'm going to have a passenger with me and I need to lose some weight. So rooftop tent is about 90 kilos. So that makes up the passenger's body weight, there or thereabouts. Want to remain under GVM. So also the amount of food that I'm going to carry for this trip, and also some other stuff that I don't usually carry. Just trying to make sure that I'm in that sort of weight area. So a few months ago, you would have seen a video on me basically starting the preparation for the trip, where I tested the King's winch and the winch didn't work. It was still under warranty and King's replaced that. On the socials, you would have seen that I'd taken the vehicle down to Ron Spinks Automotive down at Kirrawee. So Adrian and his team down there put the car on the hoist, did a full service underneath for me, did some checks, greased everything, made sure everything was good, ready to go. I'd already arranged with Adrian that I'll do the oil change and the filters, so I'll drop that footage now for you. So just down here at Ron Spinks Autos down at Kirrawee. Come down, just get a good look over the truck before I head off. It's just part of the preventative maintenance. So Adrian's in there at the moment, it's up on the hoist, and yeah, just checking to make sure everything's okay. So Adrian's finished having a look at the truck. Nice quick service. Fanbot had a small crack in it. He had one here, so replaced that for me. Also got a couple of spare radiator hoses for the trip, but everything else on the truck is fine. Put it on diagnostics and there's no error codes. Preparation for Cape York continues. I'm at home at the moment. I've had the car down at Adrian's workshop at Ron Spink Automotive in Kirrawee. He's had a good look over it, can't fault it. So, but I arranged with Adrian that I would do the oil and also the filters. So it's now time to do it. Let's get into it. So I use this oil filter removal tool. I just got it from Repcar, pretty sure it's going to be available everywhere. What happens is your oil filter sits in here, and as you go to loosen your oil filter, these clamps or walls pull in on the filter and then grab it to remove it. This is the kit that I use. It's from Ryco, and it's a little bit cheaper to buy it as a complete kit rather than individual components. And in this kit you've got the oil filter, fuel filter, the air intake filter, and also the cabin filter. It's got the new oil filter. It's a Z418 for the Hilux. So I've got some oil. Just want to put a little smear just around the seal. Don't have to go overboard, and then fit the new oil filter. So now the sump plug back in. I've got a new sump washer as well. Just get it started. Okay, for the oil, I think it's about 6.5 litres. Just while I let the oil settle before I check the dipstick, I just put the cap back on, just loosely. And in the meantime, I'll take the air filter out and replace that. Now the air filter in my Hilux is a A1541. And again, it comes in the kit. Should be able to just move this off to the side, pull the filter out. Just as a bit of an indicator, as I said, I've got the cap back on the oil. Not sure if the camera shows. This one's probably about 15,000 Ks since I last replaced it. Would have done the trip down to Victorian High Country, plus also multiple trips to the Wadigans and also up to Barrington Tops. Just sits in there snugly. Just line it all up again. And do your clamps back up, clip them in. So the cabin filter is fairly easy to replace. It's actually in behind the glove box. So just squeeze in, drop it down. Just sits above the fan here. Little clip. Take the cover off. It should just slide out. So there's a new one. Again, Ryco, part number RCA164P. Slide it back in. Make sure it's all the way in. The filter's in. Just find the housing for the other side to clip into, and then just lock this side in. And then the glove box, just squeeze back in. There we go. I've taken a bit of time with it. Generally it's probably only about an hour job. So just to go over it, your air filter. Now I said when I removed it, it probably wasn't that bad, but there's actually dust everywhere. It was time. It's going to get worse when I'm up the Cape. So cabin filter. This one's going to surprise people. The amount of bugs and dirt and that you get in there. So I'm glad that's replaced now as well. Fuel filter and oil filter, as I showed you. I do mine every 10,000 Ks anyway. I'm also going to arrange for the pre-filter for the fuel from Directions Plus. I'll order up 2 filters, one to replace next week and have a spare whilst I'm away. I've also done the gearbox, diff and transfer case. Unfortunately I didn't record that, but there's plenty of footage on YouTube as to how to do that. The Cape York preparations continue. Only 3 weeks ago, I do have one issue with my 12 volt system. I won't go into that just yet. I've reached out regarding some warranty and we'll discuss that a bit later. Whilst I was down in Sydney, called into the guys at Tempe Tyres. I'd been chatting to them for about a week or so in regards to replacing the tyres that I had. They recommended the Falcon Wild Peaks for this trip with the conditions that would be faced. So I decided to go with them, and for the last couple of weeks now I've been really happy with them. So the Cape York preparation continues. So I'm getting new tyres, just called into Tempe Tyre and Wheel Centre, and these guys are busy. Okay guys, Cape York trip preparations continue and doing the cook-ups at home. I'm doing a lot of the prep work anyway, as I'm not taking up the Dutch oven or any other of the fry pans that are made out of cast just due to weight. So you probably would have seen, started the preparations yesterday, went out to Costco, brought a whole heap of meats. They're already vacuum sealed. Last night, slow cooked ribs in Coca-Cola. This morning I've sealed them with the honey and barbecue sauce in it. They'll go in the freezer. Today's cook up is going to be the mince, where I'll do spag bowl and nachos. Probably do some beef patties as well for hamburgers. Just want to show you what I'm going to cook with while I'm away. Went out to King's, brought the induction fry pan and also pan with a removable handle. Came with a kettle, $69. I was at BCF and they had a clearance as well. This pan, $10. It's induction. You can also use the top as a skittle plate. I've made a few changes both inside the cab of the Hilux and also the canopy. So inside the cab I've removed the back seat. My understanding is that you can do that as a temporary thing. If it was to be a permanent setup, you'd have to get it engineered. Just show you that now, and then the changes in the canopy, and I'm pretty much ready to go. In the canopy on the passenger side or the kitchen side, Been a few changes here as well. So what I've done on this side is where I used to have the drawer, the XTM, it weighed about 24.5 kilos just a drawer. So I've removed that, replaced it with the King's 30 litre freezer. Again, if you've been watching my socials, you would have seen I've done a lot of food preparation. That's at home in the freezer. The drawer gets down to about -10, so all my food will go in already frozen and it will hold temperature. It will run more efficiently, which will be less draw of amps on the battery. Right guys, the Hilux is fully loaded, ready for the big trip. On the kitchen side, the fridge is in its normal position. Just some basics in there at the moment. Got to stop and buy some more groceries along the way as we need them. The pantry is fully stocked. Never had it so stocked before, but got all the breakfasts, coffees, milks, lots of snacks, pasta meals, more snacks, and some wipes. Now these are bath and a bed wipe. I've used them before. We're not carrying much water for showers and that, so they'll come in handy. The freezer, it's chockers with all the food. I did all that food prep a week ago now. In the 60 litre tub, I've got the induction cooker, the gas cooker, sandwich maker, and all the plates and cutlery. The swags are mounted on the roof. They're tied down. On the driver's side, decided I'm going to take the extendable ladder just so I can get easy access to the swags to throw them up and pull them down. Table, fire pit, solar panels, portable toilet in the back there. Fishing rods are mounted. I brought a cheap chainsaw from Bunnings, so I'm going to give that a crack. Some spares, filters, oil, etc. More snacks, toilet paper. And then the back of the seat, I've got another tub which has got tools in it, recovery kit, bags of clothes, chairs in the back here, and also the Max Tracks, which I'll move later and make them more accessible. Also I have the camera gear in here as well. Righto guys, that's it for this Cape York preparation video. By the time this gets dropped, I'll probably be home. If you've got any questions, reach out to me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks heaps for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Cheers guys, travel safely.